What's going on, guys? Matt Wacek here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. So I share a lot of tutorials on my channel regarding building websites, doing SEO, that type of stuff, and those are awesome and really fun to do. But I want to share overall just the journey of what goes on within my company and take you guys through the experiences that I'm going through with what works, what doesn't work, and overall just share what I wish I would have been able to know many years ago when I had first gotten started. But long story short, if you're brand new to the channel, my first business was a landscaping company. I started that back in 2011 while going to school for horticulture. About 4 or 5 years before that, I had gotten into that industry, starting working and learning about it. And then I started that company and we grew and scaled to multiple 6 figures. About halfway through 2015 is when I got into internet marketing. And a lot of the clients that we got in my landscape company came from the search engines, with having my site rank for the services in the cities that we operated. So I know a lot about the inner workings of these types of companies. I'm able to help a lot of these companies as well. So anyways, we just wrapped up a website design project for a client who is in his first year starting his lawn care and landscaping company. So I basically sent over the email saying, hey, we wrapped up everything today. How's it looking? And then sent him his URL. I said, hey, it looks great. I appreciate everything. Where do we go from here? So this is not the primary focus of this video. I'll get to it here in a second. But what we did next, what I basically did was explain that, hey, the next step is to get traffic to your site so you can have new customers coming in. So I opened up the opportunity to say, are you interested in maybe looking at an SEO proposal to do a campaign to get your site show up for the services that you offer in the cities that you work in? So we're still waiting to hear back on a response to that. Here's where things got really interesting. He had asked if you had one piece of advice for a new entrepreneur in the industry, what would that be? So I wrote it out and I sent it to him already, but I put it here into a Word document and zoomed in so that way you guys can see this. So being as he's in the lawn care landscaping business, it's a little bit different, but the principles that I go over in this advice here are the exact same. And if you're someone who wants to grow your internet marketing based business, these are things you need to focus on as well. So the first thing I'd mention is basically having systems in place for every process within your business, and that's probably one of the most important things that you can do. So people hear systems and they don't really understand what that means. Really what a system is going to be a procedure for everything that you do, and you really just need to document these things and essentially get yourself, if your goal is to grow to a business and have everything automated with employees or contract workers, VAs, whatever, creating these procedures, putting them into some type of form of media, whether it's text or video, so that way these employees can know what it is that they need to do. If you were to go work at a Target store or anything like that, they have a procedure for everything that every employee does, down to mopping the floors. I've never worked at a Target, but I can almost guarantee they probably have a written document that says step-by-step instructions on how to mop the floors. So that is the way that you want to be running your business. Every process that you do, if you're building websites, if you are doing SEO, or if you're doing whatever, you want to have a fully refined system. And if you guys want me to do videos on this type of stuff, it is really time-taking, but these are things that add value to your business in the future. So even if you're doing pay-per-call affiliate marketing or just doing lead generation for businesses, you're not even taking on monthly clients or anything like that, these types of processes make it easier for the new owner in the future to take the reins, and it makes it essentially turnkey. And that is going to allow your business to have a very nice multiple when it comes time to sell. And that's what my goal is here with my business in the near future as well. And also the same thing with even just selling lead gen pay-per-call affiliate sites. You want to be having operating procedures for building out the site, ranking it, maintaining it, that type of stuff. But when you start to grow and scale, when you have employees and everything else that go along with it, that is something that must be done as well. So the next point that I had made was that creating these procedures is a major pain in the ass. It just absolutely is. But here's the payoff for doing this type of stuff, is that you are able to eventually live a life that most others could only dream. The dream life that I'm referring to would be that you are making money because you have systems in place for a business that operate without your presence, allowing you to make money without having to go to work. And then eventually you'll be able to sell that business for a very nice monthly multiple. I'm currently doing this with my digital agency because I know that my time is worth more going out and getting more customers. So I'm creating content on here. I'm creating content for the Landscape Marketing Pros YouTube channel to build the audience, to give us more reach with our advertising, to get more clients, because that is what's going to allow us to grow. Me spending time writing out PBN articles, me doing the citations and submitting all that information, which overall basically allowing myself to hire someone to do all the very monotonous tasks because they are very robotic-like, allows me to then focus on things that are going to move us forward. So It's a lot of work to set these things up, but the payoff is big. I'm not going to go too much in this because I know this video is getting long, but an example for like a landscape company would be you just have a procedure for what happens when a new lead comes in. If someone calls on the phone, you have a script that says, hey, thank you for calling our company, how can we help you? Or an email, what's the response going to be? Or a contact form submission, do you call them, do you email them, etc., etc., and just the list just goes on and on and on. It's really just the entire fulfillment process from the moment a customer comes in to the moment they pay you that last amount of money for a project, and then you upsell them on recurring services, for example. So the next point is that if your goal is to be scaling to 6 to 7 figures, you just have to look at a business as a big list of customers, and you're just trying to maximize the value of each one of those leads or those customers that are on your list. For example, I have an email list for Landscape Marketing Pros, and I have an email list for my personal brand here. The entire goal with these types of businesses, with any business, Target looks at this the exact same way. They have an email list. Walmart has an email list. Best Buy has an email list. All these other companies have email lists. Their goal is to just increase the value of every single person on this list. And obviously not every single person that joins their email list is going to be a customer, but you just need to work on maximizing the value. And that's really what it comes down to. Next up would be just to think big and to not fret over small expenses if they are something necessary. And rather than tripping over a dollar by spending time getting angry about having to spend 50 cents on something, for example, obviously the numbers are relative, but you want to be focusing on what's going to allow you to grow and acquire more clients. So again, even if you're focusing on pay-per-call affiliate marketing, the example of this for clients would be having more sites and more clients ranking. So you want to be focusing on what's going to allow you to grow. A good saying that I have heard many, many times and I have ingrained into my brain is, don't trip over a quarter to try to pick up a dime. It just does not make sense when there are other things that you could do to focus on growth. And the next thing would be to never let emotions get involved. Business is a game of numbers, and that is it. Especially with the landscape industry, because you spend a lot of time going out meeting with people and having to spend your time or your employees' time on a property, taking measurements, talking with the people, that sort of stuff. And the same thing with digital marketing. If you're doing it for clients, is you're having meetings with them, you're communicating with them, you have to spend all this time. People can get a lot of emotion, and I made this mistake in my landscape business. I would get so mad if I didn't land a project, especially if I spent 3 hours meeting with the person, putting together a proposal, sending out the emails, doing follow-up emails, everything like that, phone calls. You just need to be making data-driven decisions rather than emotion-based. And so the last thing was that everything is a result of your action as an owner, whether things go right or things go wrong. So the example I went into was regarding landscaping, but I'll make an example of how this could be applied to you as an internet marketer. So let's say you have an employee that is writing out your PBN articles, and they're the ones that are actually publishing the articles to the PBN. Let's say they goof up on the anchor text and you are over-optimized with a ton of exact match anchors when you only need a few of them to rank your site. And then a couple weeks later, pretty soon you see, oh crap, we just got penalized. That is on your fault for either not checking their work to make sure that they did it properly before they even hit publish, or you didn't train them properly on knowing the exact anchor text ratios that you want to have for your site that you're trying to rank. So that's another example. And to step it up even more, say you were building an agency and you had an SEO manager, or for this instance, like an operations man, or for this instance with landscaping, an operations manager, and they hired the guy that made the mistake. It's still technically on you for hiring that guy, that manager, that hired that operator, or hired that writer that was going to be writing the PBN articles. So there are a lot more that come to mind regarding just business ownership, but those are some of the top ones. Just really focusing on growth, not getting too hyped up about just small things, and really thinking about, okay, if the situation sucks right now, does it matter in 5 minutes? Does it matter in a month? Does it matter even 6 months from now? And if it doesn't even matter 5 minutes from now, you don't want to worry about it, because having unnecessary stress is really just going to slow you down. So if you guys like this type of content, I appreciate if you went down below, dropped a like on this video. If you're not already a part of the family, be sure to go down below, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so that way you know when the newest content comes live. And if you want to learn more about building websites, ranking them in the search engines, and monetizing them with pay-per-call affiliate offers or lead generation, there's a link down below in the description to my course. And if you want to get access to the 9 most profitable pay-per-call and lead gen niches, there's a link to download that in the description as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.